Okay, hello guys. So this video to tell you how to actually create a product ad flyer for NIVEA. Yeah, so this is our finished design. So I'll be taking you the process to actually create this design from scratch. So I'll go into my new page. It's this Instagram size. So this is my new page, and I'm going to get my product. You can find the product in the link in the description of this video. Here's my product. Select my background using the color from the product, using the color picker tool. Using this tool, I'm going to add the background. Then I will add the glue in the center, like we have here. Using my brush tool, create the size, reduce the hardness, and select my color using my color picker tool. We have something like this. Select a darker shade of color and a round design. Shape this. So I'm just setting up my background. Now I'm going to go for the shadow of this particular product. So for the shadow of the product, I will be using my brush tool. Create a new layer under product. My brush, reducing the size, selecting a darker shade, and have something like this. Then reducing the size of what I did just now to get something like this here. Get something like this where it is in the size as we get the stand. That's the foreground for as we get the foreground for the NIVEA product. So I'll input my text, even glue, reindeer and beauty and NIVEA. Let me type it in. Even glue. I'm using the art fit font because that's what actually fits NIVEA brand. So I'm using the art fit medium. Make the color white, increase the size. Actually have something like this. So now I'm going to we're going to be typing the radiant beauty at the bottom. Radiant beauty. I'm going to change it from medium to light. I'll set the data spacing to 1000. I'll place it at the center here. reduce the size a bit. Place it at the center. Then I'll duplicate it and type NIVEA. Yeah, I'll change the data spacing to 200. So I'll put at the center still, move it up a bit. So we have a base of this particular design now. Now it's time for me to put in the orange. So the link to the file of the orange is in the link of the description of this video. So you find the link to the orange and the files I used, and also the PSD file for this particular design. So bring in the orange. I'm using my pen to change this to parts, select orange, make selection. I'll come up to selection to layer by. I'll delete this former layer here, and I have my orange. Increase the size a bit, and I can turn it in this direction. This, so we have something like this. Alright, so now we have to do a shadow for the orange. So I will duplicate the shadow for the product and I'll reduce the size. It's here to get that for the orange. Then if the orange is resting on the product, the orange should actually cast a shadow on the product. So I will create a new layer above the shadow layer of the product, and with my brush tool I'll create a shadow there. Or something like this. Set it to multiply. Reduce the opacity because I don't know if it's not really that obvious. It's just to show that there's a shadow there. Now I'm basically done with the design, so it's time to add your finishing touch, and that's your lights on the product. So I'll click on the product, create a new layer. I'll click that new layer inside there, and I'll set the layer to linear dodge. I'll click on my brush tool, increase the size a bit, and select light color for this. So you have something like this, then add brush stroke like the edges. add something like this. Then you can add, like creating a new layer at the top, and add glues. Same setting, and add glue at the side. Increase the size of the brush. Add glues. You can also reduce the opacity. So we have something like this now. So for us to get a design that actually pops and looks like this, we have to go on other editing adventures. So I'm going to select this background. Let me duplicate it and set it to multiply and reduce the opacity. So we have a more deep colored background. Now I'll select everything and add it to a folder. That's group it. So this is group 1. So I'll duplicate group 1 by pressing on Ctrl J, and I'll name it final pop. So this is what I'll be editing. I will convert this now to a smart object, and I can edit this by going to my filter section, camera raw filters. So in camera raw filters, this is where I'll actually be doing some little adjustment to the colors and the lights. So I will reduce the exposure a bit because I feel this actually too bright. I'll increase the contrast of the colors, increase the highlights, increase the shadows, increase the whites, and increase the blacks, and increase the clarity. Yeah. Now increase the vibrance, saturations of the colors. Then I can come to the color mixer here and increase the colors I want to increase. Starting from hue, if I want the red to look this like this red, I will take it this way. If I want to look like this red, so we are going for this other way because that's the color that the product actually have. So that's what we're going for. Which is like saturation, and increase here, increase here. Oh. So now I go to the effect and add my green effect. So I finishing touching my green effect. That's all. Okay, and voila. So I forgot to actually add our glow effect on the orange here. So I will double click on this to get the design, and I will add the glow effect on the orange. Selecting the color from the orange. Okay. So I'll save it